All right, let's get into today's market. First of all, let's go over the entire week of trading this week. The entire week of trading and go over the buy and sell zones. I want you to mark these parameters down, members, and this is a good place for you to start to find the buy and sell zones. Okay. Hey, Russ, good morning. So this is a really good start for you on the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Russell 2000, the Dow Minis, crude oil, gold, etc. This is an ES 1135 Unirinco chart, 24/7 session. All right. I have the 25 sim algo indicator. The indicator, you don't have to run the strategy on here until you get inside the zones. We'll do another video on how to use a strategy inside these zones. But let's specifically look where to buy and sell. So this is a 25 sim algo Unirinco zone on your indicator. So when you go to indicator, make sure you have your 25 zone, sim, our proprietary sim Rinco bar type, sim algo, all the filters are built into it already, and put 25 in your zone. Then under the Unirinco, this trend, our 30-year back tested zone, we use 1165. We had a 30-year back test on it, showing that was the top reversal for the S&P, and then also the top trend on the S&P, the last 30 years on the S&P. But if you want to smooth things out even more, I send out this chart all the time, is a 1-1-100 on the Unirinco zone. So when you go in and insert the indicator on the zone, you do the same thing, the same indicator. You go in, and the zone, you can put a Unirinco 1-1-100. Now, what that will do, it's going to smooth out your trend for you. Now, what that means, this is the entire trading sessions since Monday. It shows all the trades, all of them. We're not cherry picking trades, saying this worked well, this so on. I'm showing you all the qualified trades since Monday, all of them with trend of the 1-100. So if we go back to it and blow it up, and then we'll go through these before news comes out. We do have CPI coming out this morning. So we'll go Friday first, and then we'll get into the entire trading session. I want to show you how smooth this is. So this is June 6th. I like the 1-135 Unirinco chart. It's one of my favorite charts to trade these zones because the 1-130 will give you false reversal sometimes, and then get right back in the zone, hold the zone, then go back up. So if you're okay with holding W bottoms and end tops in these zones, you can go down to a 1-130, 1-125, 1-120, even down to a 1-113 if you want. Or even a 1-110, doesn't matter, as long as you know the integrity of the zone, because the zone, that's where the market has to reverse. It cannot close one candle outside of my 25 zone, or it's not going to qualify. So I like the 1-135 reversal because it's very, very accurate, because it's a larger Rinco chart, but it gives that nice V bottom, V tops. That's my favorite chart of all of them. This is a 25 zone with a 1-100. Let's take a look at the buy zones. Let me blow this up, and we'll go over and show you all the trades in a row that this thing can produce. So on June 6th, right, and we'll go over entire week. We'll go over the last 1, 2, 3, 4 trading days, the entire sessions. We're not going to cherry pick trades. Let's show you every single trade that this produced. So if you look at the 1-100, what that does is produces nice green parallel trend. That's what we back tested for over 30 years as being the best zone to reverse price and keep us on the right side of the market, so we don't trade with all these counter trend traders. Counter trend traders, that's who we pick on, and we pick on all these algos that counter trend trade the market against the overall market trend. So you can see going into June 6th, right from the midnight, it started with green zone. So green 1-1-100 uni trend zone is green. So what we're going to do, we're going to look for the price to counter trend trade itself, let the counter trend traders counter the market, get into or at the zone. Now what it has to do, it's got to get at the zone, equal to the zone, or inside the zone by a close. What it cannot do is it cannot close outside of the outer zone. That's market structure. As long as I do not close by one candle outside that zone and I get a reversal bar, you have yourself a trade. The average move on these zone trades with a 1-135 chart on the 1-100 Uni Renko trend, the average trade, you're looking for 10 to 12 points. 10 to 12 points. That gives you an idea how to trail these, gives you an idea where to place your stop, gives you an idea of what you're looking to get out of it. If you go back on your system and you go back on yourself, and don't take my word for it, and you look at when this bar closes, the reversal candle here, or here, or here, the average move is 10 to 12 points. And a little short period of time is the average potential move you're going to get out of these zones. So when we come down to the zone, that is your at the zone. We got a reversal candle right there. Punch it up on last Friday. Beautiful start to the session right there at the right before news came out at 7:54 going into news. Then we had this nice little buy signal here, went right down inside the zone, at the zone, I'm sorry, came right inside the zone, closed by a couple candles. What you'll see is this. You notice how it closes inside the buy zone. Now the buy zone is going to be extended. So here's how you do it. But check this out. So there is your 25 buy zone. So it starts printing, right? Price starts getting inside of the buy zone right here, inside of the buy zone by one candle right there. It can reverse anywhere inside of this buy zone right here, anywhere inside this buy zone, anywhere. It just cannot close below the lower end of the buy zone before getting reversal. If it closes below that low of that zone, the trade is canceled. You do not take the trade. That's how accurate the system is. The system is very accurate when you trade the rules. So what we want to do, let it come inside the zone. The zones are extended out. So what you do is you take your zone, and what we'll do is we will take the high of it and the low of it and just extend it out, just like that. So you can see we come inside the zone, got the reversal candle, and this market shot out like a cannon to the upside. The pull-in was 91, and it went as high as 25, 31 S&P point potential on that buy zone. So you can see what we want to do. We want to try to buy retracements in these zones without breaking market structure. All right. So then we come down and we get a reversal, red reversal. Here's a sell zone. It just missed the sell. This is not a sell. You extend it out. This would have been a sell zone, but it broke the high by one candle, so you don't do it. I almost caught that. And then we get moving into the next trading day. So the next trading day, what do we get? We come into the trading day after the New York Open. What do we have? Our 1-100 turned positive. We had no sell zone here, right? It broke the high, did not reverse, so no sell zone. Here's your first qualified buy zone, gets inside of it, does not break the low market structure. Let's look at the last 3 whole trading days, every single trade it takes. There's your potential buy, 10-point potential move. Comes up, gets in the buy zone. There's your reversal candle, 10-point potential move or over. There is your another one, reverses inside the zone. This one came close to the zone, but it did not get at or inside of the zone. So we're smarter than that. We know that shallow retracements fail. Let it come inside. Look where it stopped. Right almost to the ticket. It broke the outside zone by one tick, but never closed below it. That's how accurate these zones are. It reversed. It went from 15 3/4 into the close as high as 40. 40. So we had a nice 25-point potential run into the close. So if I look at those past 2 trading days, I go, okay, I see what's going on here. We're buying, retraces the trend, buy, 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 trends up, buy, buy, buy. Let's go into Tuesday. Tuesday, same settings, ES 1-135 Uni Renko, 25 cent algo, getting our zones, 1-100 Uni Renko zone trend. What are we going to do? It starts out at 120 going into a what? Into a sell. Our London traders love this system. They trade the London Open. I keep telling this over and over to the London traders when the London opens at 3. Start watching this at 245 to 330. You're going to get some dynamic moves in the market. Sure enough, right at 253, right before the London opens for you European traders. Beautiful trade. 600,750. Got as low as 5991. So again, 17-point potential move to the downside. Then for our New York traders coming up, our early morning traders, it caught some early morning trades at 7 o'clock in the morning. It turned green zone buy, got the reversal, stop right at the high, another 10-point potential. Then we got rolling. Did not close. It closed below the market structure here. No buy. Close above market structure. Sell there. No sell. But then it turned green into the close. 1456. The last hour is power hour. The first hour is power hour. 9:30 to 10:30. I talk blue in my face about that. I talk about how we look for these setups. In the last power hour, 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock, comes into the buy zone. 10-point potential there. Another 10-point potential there. Then we come into today's trading. Today's trading, we're pre-news right now. Pre-news, CPI comes out in 2 minutes. What do? Right here going into after the London Open, we had a sell signal that came up at 60.35, got as low as 60.24 1/4, another 10-point potential. So if I look at all the trades and I skinny it down for the entire week, if I look at all the trades, there, if you are looking at this exact chart I'm looking at, these are all your buy and sell signals, right? You're not going to get them 1,000 times a day to give you all these inaccurate signals. You're going to get these buy and sell retracements that are major possible inflection points of a possible 10 to 12 point move is what we're looking for in these moves. Now, we don't want to trade pre-news 1 minute before the news here, right? Let it sell down a couple minutes and we can start looking at zones. But this is what we're talking about. This is what we want to do. We want to look to buy zones with trend. So jot that down. That's a really good chart. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 potential big reversal zones. News just came out. You see what happened here on the news. Where did they launch it from? Buy trend is up, right? But look where they launched it from. Now, you don't want to trade news too fast, but look where they launched it from. These automatic algorithms, they know what's going on. They're leaving their footprint for us. The great thing about this system is we're not trying to outguess the market. We're not trying to overthink things. We're seeing where the 30-year back-tested trend is taking us. We're looking for the retracement. This is a nice W bottom into news. Obviously, you don't trade news. It just goes to show you the power of the system of how it reacts in these zones. Think about it. All these are high-frequency traders pushing these markets. Look how they brought it down to the buy zone again with trend up. These high-frequency algorithms, they bought it again. Right now, this is when the market's fast. You don't trade this, obviously, with news. It just shows you it don't matter how fast the news is. These zones are accurate. Right? This is right at the open of the news, the CPI release. Right? We got PPI tomorrow. So we'll let it sell down for a couple minutes and look for these buy zones. But you can see how the buy zones are extremely accurate, even with news coming out. Look at this news break from 41 3/4 all the way to 73. Why? Because that's the algos. These are algo-driven, high-frequency trading algorithms pushing this market. Now, what I want to show you is this. If you look at my chat here, guys, I put this in the trade room yesterday, and this is how easy it is to look for these setups. I posted this at 1 minute right here at 9. Where was it here? There it is. The third. Oops, let me get it here. Hold on. Copy all of it. I posted this in the chat room. You guys all know my time of day trade is 3:50 to 4 o'clock. Love that time period. It's when the algos like to push. I put this in the room. I alerted you guys. I sent an alert out to you guys. I said, and this was at 3:49 yesterday. I put an alert to you guys. I said 35 zone at the time of day trade. Let's see if the continuation will have a pulling arrow. So what did that mean? What that means is $100 doesn't do that. It's saying one thing. It's northbound on the Greyhound since 8:04 this morning. It's saying, hey, my bias is up. So this doesn't switch over a lot. So if you want to trade less and looking for those 10 to 12 point potential moves or higher, and you don't want to try to trade the highs and lows in the markets all day long and be a little more shifty in the market, put this down to 1/100. Put these parameters down. 1/100, Uni Renko, 25 sim algo, 1/135. Not a 1-130. 1-130, it will falsely get you in sometimes, right? And do a W bottom or V bottom and then go back up holding the zone. If you know that that is coming, then you're okay with holding a W bottom and you're okay with going a lower Renko, then do it. I'm saying the 1-135, I like it because it likes to push higher after the confirmation. So that's a big difference in the charts on a 1-165 zone versus the 100. See, the 100 zone saying that I'm just looking for buys, where the 65 zone will cut off these trend zones, will cut off, more. So that's something that you can do on your own, where you can either get less trades with a 1-100 or more trades with the 1-165. This is totally up to you. All right. I love the 1-1-100. I love it. These are the only 3 qualified trades today that it had. 1, 2, 3. There's no other trades to pull in. You can't sell this. You can't sell this because it broke the market structure. You can't buy this when it's green here. Broke market structure. You sure as heck can buy this though, can't you? You sure as heck can sell this, can't you? You sure as heck can buy this, can't you? Right? So I love the 1-100 uni. It gets your mind right, gets you focused in the right direction. Now, when we are outside of HVA, like we are now ticking right now, we're ticking outside HVA. Yeah, we're in an imbalanced market. This is what I texted yesterday. Let me go back to my train of thought I was trying to tell you guys. What I recognized yesterday was this. I recognized into the close, and I posted this at 349. There's other zones you can trade off of with this system. They're called deeper liquidity grabs. Now, these zones are the same exact indicator that you have. All you're going to do is go in and change your zone to from 25 to 35 on a separate chart. I only use, let me stress this, I only use a 1-135 on these longer Renko, on these longer zones, on the 35 zone, the 100 zone, 200 zones. So as it came in here, it got right inside here, right there at 1342. I posted 1349. I said zone at the time of trade, at the time of day trade. Let's see if we have a continuation. So once you get it, it's a buy continuation, not a sell continuation. Once you get it, it came into it. There's your buy continuation. Nice push. Look where it came down to my 35 zone again. We're going to look for a 35 zone here this morning, guys. Look at this push. Get ready. Look for that push on these 35 zones when they get outside HVA. Now look at this big push here at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. This is my 100 zone. My 100 zone is the same way. This is my 100 zone. This is my 200 zone. So I put my 35 zone, my 100 zone, and my 200 zone on the same chart. And then I leave my 25 zone on a separate chart. So it looks like this. On my other Ninja Trader that I actually use, I show you a simulation account here in the trading charts. I run 24 hours. I use my other Ninja Trader for myself. So if you look at here, this is what you should have up. You should have your 25 zone up. And if you want to look for when you're breaking out of HV and LVA, you go right to the 35 zone and look for 35 zone continuations. So we look for a deep pullback here for a buy, a deep pullback here for a back because we broke it at HVA. Right now we're getting the resistance up here. It's going against the overall market, but you don't want to take a 35 zone sell. You want to take a 35 zone buy, right? You want to buy because we're outside of HVA and we're green here. So I like trading these larger zones with the 1-100 trend. So if the 1-100 trend is up, I'm a buyer. That's what happened yesterday. Yesterday, we got this nice move. We had a nice little move there off of the 100 zone, 23 3/4, high as 49. And then we had over 10-point potential there on my other one. So those are my top zones that I like to use. I like to use my 25 zone as my standard zone. And you don't even have to even use the 35 zones and the 100 and 200 if you don't want for deeper liquidity guys, because they don't come up very often. But when they do come up, what I like to do, as soon as I'm outside a high value area, I know I'm in an imbalanced market, I immediately go to my 35 zone. I'm stalking the 35 zone for a buy. I'm waiting for a 35 zone buy with the overall trend in the market. I want this to break out and retest my 35 zone for a buy. It'll be a great launching point in the market. All right, so this is a great way. This is a great way for you to find the inflection points in the market. And if you don't want a lot of trades, guys, it's very, very simple. If you don't want a lot of trades and you only want to trade the possible largest inflection points of the market on a day-to-day basis, there's your parameters right there. Don't make it any more difficult than that. Pull up the S&P, pull up a 1-135, pull up a 25 sim zone algo, pull up a 1-1-100 uni trend zone, and go back and look at the last 30, 60, 90, 120, 240 days and look at these big inflection points. All right, or go back in this video or go back in your own charts and look at only taking zone with the 1-100 uni Renko zone trend filter. Today, it hasn't missed a zone yet. 1, 2, 3. 3 for 3 in the zones. Yesterday, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 for 4 yesterday. 1, 2, 3 the day before. 1, 2, 3 the day before that. Because it doesn't come up a lot, guys. Because you're going with the overall zone of the market, right? So the potential is there in these zones for reversals. That's my point. So if you want a starting point, here's your starting point. Mark those down. That's your starting point right there. 1-135 chart, 25 buy zones with a 1-100 uni trend direction. And that's what we're doing. We don't need any other chart up. If you don't want to trade the larger zones, you don't even have to even trade the larger zones. For me, when I posted that yesterday, when I break out a market profile, I'm outside of profile right now, right? I'm outside of market profile. The market is imbalanced. So what I want to see a retracement. I want to come right down into my 35 zone or 25 zone, and I want to see a reversal. I want to see it come into it, and I want to see it go parabolic, and do that this morning. If it does it, if we fail, we get inside a high value area, then I'll just look for that sell zone to come up to my 25 sell zone. Somewhere in there, it will print, and then we'll take this southbound on the Greyhound. Let the zones determine when you buy and sell, because what the zones are, it's catching all these wrongly positioned traders, all these counter trend traders, all these indicators that say to counter trend trade the market. It can't go any higher. It can't go any lower. Oh, yes, it can. And it will run you over. This market will run you over. We buy high and sell higher as a methodology, and we short low and buy lower with market trend. We're all with order flow. Okay, so that's what we look for this morning. That's what we're going to see. We're going to see if this market can get a retracement and get us some trades the rest of the afternoon going into PPI tomorrow as far as that goes.